If you guys are not aware, eating out actually used to be a luxury. It was something that a lot of people did when they had money to do so. Shit. What am I saying? Back in the day, shit, it's still the same. A lot of us are broke right now. So eating out is still a luxury, but for the most part, when we go out to eat, we want to feel special in a sense, right? We want to be served. We get the food to our table. We get that lovely, friendly conversation with the server. They're giving us recommendations. We're reading the menu. It's a vibe. It's an aesthetic. You're taking pictures. You feel me? You already know the phone eats first. You get this lovely plate and it looks good. The phone got to eat first. You got to snap it. You got to put it on the gram or whatever. But unfortunately, that experience has died and nobody really cares anymore, including myself. I genuinely do not care anymore.
Tell me why we went out to eat in downtown LA and the check came out to $664 fucking dollars. I'm not joking, you guys. The fucking check was $664 fucking dollars. And you wanna know what something is crazy about that fucking place? Is it wasn't even the food that was fucking expensive. It was the fucking water that they kept fucking coming back and pouring us that was fucking expensive.
2024 alone, several major restaurant chains announced closures, including Denny's, Red Lobster, TGI Fridays, and Hooters. Denny's is shutting down more than 150 locations. So why are so many longtime eateries struggling? Many point to financial pressures from inflation or changing consumer trends.
Now, several restaurant chains, including some of the nation's biggest, announced programs to close locations last year. The biggest was Starbucks, which in October announced the closure of what would be about 400 coffee shops that either could not make a profit or could not be remodeled to fit the company's current strategy. But several other restaurant chains announced closure programs too. Wendy's announced in November that it was reviewing locations and could close an estimated 300 restaurants. That came 1 year after the chain closed 140 locations. Jack in the Box earlier in the year announced a block closure program of up to 200 restaurants. Denny's has closed locations each of the past 2 years. Noodles & Company and Red Robin announced closures, and the fast casual pizza chain And Pizza closed 13 restaurants as it shifted to franchising. Then there's a barbecue chain, Smoky Bones, which was acquired by Fat Brands in 2023 for the sole purpose of converting restaurants to Twin Peaks, which generates more revenue per location. It either closed or converted somewhere in the neighborhood of 30 locations last year. And several restaurant chains or large franchisees filed for bankruptcy or had other issues that led to closures. Hooters closed about 30 restaurants. Biology closed 17 after filing for bankruptcy. Macaroni Grill, which has been in decline for the past 2 decades, is down to about 9 locations after closing more than half of its restaurants last year. Mod Pizza closed more locations. Then there's Art Burger, a large Hardee's franchisee, whose restaurants were terminated by the franchisor for doing things like not paying royalties or marketing funds. All 77 of its restaurants shut down.
I mean, all the fast food spots are closing down too, which I think, that's just because of everybody's waking up to the shit. I mean, you have just constant videos and shit coming out where people are just becoming more aware.
Oh shit. I'm doing all this shit and the video recording and whatever. My bad. What up, everybody? I am the Mademoiselle, and this is my channel. As you guys can tell by the title, as well as the intro, today we're going to be talking about how these restaurants are closing. And I truly don't give a shit because these restaurants been playing in our faces for the past few years, and I just can't. Okay, I could not wait to sit down and talk about this. Okay, makaton for this day, because it's like I literally just had a shitty restaurant experience before I sat down to film this right now, and I'm like, oh. Let me tell y'all why these restaurants are failing for real. But before we get into that, okay, a lot of you guys are confused when you see my face on different channels, but I would assume that y'all would know that I have different channels, but a lot of y'all don't. So welcome to the main channel, rants, reactions, commentary on Black social issues, scams, a little bit of teacher content here and there. Yes, I'm a teacher, dancer. I do a lot of different things, okay? I'm a dance coach, technically. It's weird not being a dance teacher and being a dance coach. But nonetheless, I do a lot of different things, including having different channels. My Haitian channel is where I do Haitian beauty, politics, and folklore. And then, of course, my personal channel is where I have lifestyle, vlogs, story times, The Mafia Speaks, etc. Please subscribe to your heart's desire. Also, I'm not sure when this video is going to drop, but I'm sure it's still going to drop in January. So thank you so much for all the birthday wishes. Thank you for all the kind words. If you guys are not aware, my aunt actually passed away last year, like 2-3 days before my birthday. So this is actually a really hard time for me because it's like I'm celebrating, but I'm mourning at the same time. A lot of you guys did remember and you've been sending me kind words, and I appreciate you for that because it's been hard. It's been really hard knowing that she'll never come back. But let's not get too sad. Let's get into the rest of the video. So yeah, the restaurants are failing. And I'm not mad at it. All of them could shut the fuck down for all I care. Now, I know that's my bipolar speaking. I ain't gonna hold you. Like, I'm just like truly irritated by what just happened. So I'm trying, you know what? We gonna start with the damn story. Cause I know y'all love story times and I haven't been doing many personal like stories or whatever, like on my personal channel. I even skipped 12 days of story time this year because honestly, I'm just tired. Like, I'm tired, I'm exhausted. I just want something simple in life, right? So I went to go get my nails done. I got my eyebrows done. I got my toes done. I know you don't see it because I got socks on, but my toes is done. And I said, oh, I'm going go. I'm hungry. Let me go get some food. So I looked around. They get ShopRite. They get Panera. I should have just went to the damn Panera. Okay, they get Five Guys, but see, I didn't want to eat no greasy shit. They get Buckaboo burritos, I don't know what it's called. I don't own the business. I don't have to know how to say it. But I saw a small chain Japanese restaurant. I ain't gonna tell you what it is. Because next thing you know, niggas gonna hit me up, talk about some, oh, I'm ruining a business. If you guys figure it out, you figure it out. All I gotta say is, it's in the West Orange Plaza, basically across the street from the LA Fitness. That's all I'm gonna say. If you're from Jersey, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, then you don't. Just listen to the damn story. I said, you know what? I want something small. Okay, I don't want too much. I I want something small. I don't want too much. But one thing that you need to know about me before we go on with the rest of the story is I absolutely love ramen. It's literally one of my favorite things and probably one of the only things that I do eat consistently when I go out. Whether I go to K-pop, whether I visit a new city, I love ramen. I've probably had every type of ramen from every Asian country you can think of. And anytime I find one I haven't tried, I go and I try it. I love ramen. So this place happens to be, again, a small Japanese restaurant, but I think technically they're a franchise. Nonetheless, okay? I go in there, I tell myself I'm probably just gonna get some bao buns. Maybe I'm gonna get some gyoza. I don't know, small shit. But then I look at the menu and I'm like, you know what? These prices not that bad. Oh shit, they even have boba. Another thing, I'm obsessed with boba. Okay, like I'm so obsessed with boba. At one point, I used to buy 2 boba at a time. Okay, my big back ass. I'm very sure I was big as shit back in the day because I was sitting here downing 2 things of freaking boba every time I went to any boba shop. Okay, from Kung Fu Tea to the little small local shop down the street. Like, love boba. Now I probably drink boba a few times a year. Okay, I slowed down on that shit because you know diabetes running my family. All that. You know, I'm trying to relax. My busy fat. So I said, you know what? I'm going to support this small business. Maybe this is probably going to be my new spot. It's close to my house or whatever. So they had this deal. It was $23. So it was any ramen on the menu. And then you get a small appetizer for $23. And then the boba, I think, was like $5. Okay. Bada boom, bada bang. I have no problem. Like, I was so happy. I was like, okay, that's cheap. You know, and I'm dining in. I'm chilling. I'm getting service. I ain't got no problem. Bao buns come rocking. It's kind of hard to fuck up bao buns. Okay. I've had them a lot of different places, from New Jersey to Georgia to New York to like, I've had a lot of different bao buns. Those were good. They weren't the best, but they were actually pretty good. At this point, I'm waiting for my ramyeon. Okay, I'm like, yes, I can't wait to have my ramyeon. I got a miso ramyeon with pork. And I was like, oh, this is about to be so good. I was so hungry. But the bubble tea came and I said, oh, I forgot I ordered bubble tea. And I go and I pop my straw in there only to taste disrespect. The shit ain't got no sugar in it. So at this point, I'm like, I'm in for a rude awakening. What type of bubble tea ain't got sugar in it? Like, I kid you not, I ordered a Thai milk boba with boba. Not popping, no lychee, no nothing. This shit tasted like straight milk. There was no Thai in there. There was no sugar in there. So at that point, I'm like, I'm mixing it around. Suke bagay la. Mind you, I've had boba from, I've probably consumed over 500 things of boba in my lifetime. Like, I'm not even joking. I love boba that much. And even the worst boba I had tasted sugary in some aspect. This shit tastes like there was no sugar in it whatsoever. So I'm like, oh my God, like this is just like drinking freaking milk and boba. So I'm kind of annoyed and I'm like, yeah, it's over for this. The ramen comes. Okay, the ramyun comes. This shit has no salt. At this point, I'm like, am I tripping? I swear to you, I'm sipping the broth. I'm trying to get some of the noodle. I taste some of the pork. The pork had a little bit of seasoning in it, but the whole thing was just bland. Okay, the shit tasted like regret. At this point, I'm like, damn, I really wanted to support this business, but I really don't like this food. I stopped eating immediately. I see the server finally because the server barely came to me. Okay, like he came, brought me my shit, but I never seen him after that. A lot of you guys might argue, oh, why you gotta see the server all the time? Bitch, because it's a server. Serve me. What are we talking about? DK? Why I gotta see the server every time? It doesn't look good when I have to look for you. You should be there every time I look up, especially when the place is not packed. Okay, there's probably only 4 other tables and there was like 2 other servers. Don't piss me off. Okay? The guy comes and he's like, oh, is there, and how's everything? And I forgot. I don't remember if he said, how's everything? Or if he said, oh, I saw you looking for me. I don't remember which time that was, but he did say that eventually, like, oh, I saw you looking for me. I'm looking for the flavor in this food. The boba has no sugar. The soup has no salt. Please help me understand why. Help me understand what is going on. Like, I'm just like, yeah, like, I genuinely don't like this at all. Like, the boba has no sugar. And the ramen, like, there's like no salt, like there's no seasoning in it. He goes, let me take the boba for you. I'll refill it. Goes, refills the boba. I don't know what the fuck that was supposed to do. He should have added some Splenda, some sugar, some vanilla syrup. I don't know, something. That shit had no taste. It genuinely pissed me off. The whole shit low-key ruined my appetite. And I was actually really hungry. Like, I had my meal at 7 a.m. I had breakfast, okay? And at this point, it's like 3 o'clock. So I'm really hungry. So that whole experience low-key pissed me off. He comes back with the bowl, but the shit tastes exactly the same. If not, it tastes more watered down. Kunya, I'm just like, this is just how they do shit here, whatever. And that's when he came back again, and I told him about the ramen, and he was like, oh, okay, give me 1 moment. Goes, tells the manager. Manager comes to me talking about something. Oh, can you explain to me what's wrong with the ramen? I said it has no flavor. Like, there's nothing really to like explain it. It has no flavor. I genuinely don't like it. She starts to school me on, first of all, she tried to be like, oh, have you had ramen before? Do I look like I haven't had ramen before? Like, because I'm a nigga, I can't have ramen. First of all, I've been eating bag ramen since before you could walk, little girl. It's like, nah, she was probably older than me. But like, what? Like, I've been eating bag ramen, still eat bag ramen, and I go out to eat ramen. Like I said, from ramyun to ramen to pho to, like, I eat the shits. So I'm trying to figure out what you mean when you asking me that. Like, I don't know. I took offense to it low key, but I kept my composure. I was like, yeah, I've eaten ramen at dozens of places, probably way more than like probably over 30 places at this point in my lifetime. Never had this experience where literally like there's no seasoning, no salt. Well, we get our recipe from an ancient Japanese family, and sometimes, like it might not taste like much of anything because we don't use MSG. All I heard after that was want, 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 want. I don't care. The shit don't have salt. I don't like it. Take it off the bill because at this, like, well, yeah, since we don't use MSG and in Japanese culture, I'm just looking at her like, girl, I'm very solutions based. I don't like niggas talking to me. Like I don't like talking. And I don't like pointlessness. What is the point of telling me this? Is the food gonna magically have salt? What pissed me off the most is there was no soy sauce on the table. There was no salt. There was no pepper. There was no nothing, no hot sauce that I could have added. Like low key, if I could have added something to it, I probably would have been alright. But that would have pissed me off because it's freaking ramyun. It should have flavor. Asian cuisine is one of the most popular cuisines on this planet for a reason. Like, why do I should never have to add salt to good food, especially food that I'm sitting down to eat, especially not no damn ramyun. Don't play with me. So she's just like talking and talking and talking, and she finally gets to the point that I wanted to hear. Oh, would you like something else off the menu? But then she followed it up with, since we're a small business, we don't like to just give refunds if somebody doesn't like it. Girl, if you don't give me my money, DK, we don't like to give refunds. So you like to get problem because you about to have one. What are we actually talking about? Ooh, tough. We don't give refunds. Oh, you're gonna take this shit off this bill today. Like, what are you actually talking about? She's like, and she saw my face. I'm like, and she's like, oh, would you like something else off the menu? I'm like, yeah, that sounds more like it. Honestly, I ain't gonna hold you. I was ready to tell her, like, take it all off. I'll just pay for this bubble tea and call it a day. And the bao buns. But I guess since it was like a combination situation, they just had to take off the ramen. So I ended up paying $9 for the bao bun. And then I asked for fried gyoza. That shit was actually really good. So I asked for the fried gyoza, that was $8, and I paid $5 for the bubble tea. So it was like 20 something dollars. That wasn't bad. I didn't have a problem with it. But it was just like the way that she was sitting there schooling me and trying to tell me that basically, like, yeah, like maybe you've never had Japanese ramen before. Oh, well, we don't use MSG here. I don't give a fuck. I need my shit to have flavor. Like, what? Yo, honestly, and that's part of the reason, okay, a lot of y'all motherfuckers is getting closed down because y'all are really bugged the fuck out. Y'all think we care about your origin stories? Like, do you really think we care about what you use and don't use? People go out to eat fresh, good, better than ordinary food. That's plain and simple. I don't care about all that extra shit in between. And that goes into my first point as to why these restaurants are closing down, and I generally don't give a shit.
We're seeing more and more empty buildings and doors locked as many point to the business environment for all of the closure.
In the United States, I think we are on the path to not having restaurants in 5 years. It sounds ridiculous, it sounds crazy, but hear me out. All of these places are not making money. Nobody is going. There is no lines out the doors, okay? Unless it is right downtown on the middle of Main Street. If you are not in that prime area, your restaurant's dead. I'm sorry. It's just the way it is. And it's absolutely crazy. I don't know how it's going to get better. I don't know how waitstaff, bartenders, I don't know how they're making any money, especially with the cost of living going up, how they're even surviving, how they can afford to live in the cities. And if your waitstaff can't afford to live in the cities and they have to be farther and farther out, there's going to be a point where they stop making that commute. So who's going to work all these jobs? The old retirees who moved here with $1 bajillion? Absolutely not. So I don't think this is a system that is going to work for much longer, which I think is insane. And from a consumer standpoint, I get it. Inflation, tip inflation, all of it. It is just conspiring against the whole thing of going out to restaurants or bars.
So we're going to have a part 2 because I just realized there's a lot of things I missed, such as the operation cost, the margins, so much more. So enjoy part 1. Places just do too much at this point. Like between 2020 to now, I've had some of the worst experiences. And that's a lie. I'll say I started having bad experiences in restaurants since like 2017-ish, okay? That's when I started realizing like, oh, the decline is real. But of course, the panini, okay, we cannot say the word on here. Some people get away with it, some people don't, so I choose not to say the word. Use context clues. We already know that changed the world, okay? But it really changed the food industry in a lot of different ways. You saw a lot of people coming out with their own food that they were selling out of their houses, right? You saw a lot of people coming out and doing these crazy different culinary takes and remixes. Of course, the younger generation of chefs started coming up. We had food reviewers coming out, doing these, think pieces and these reviews on these restaurants or whatever. And I think that's part of the problem as well, which I'm going to address later on in this video. And it's like, yeah, like the panini really changed the restaurant game for honestly the worst. I'll say in the beginning, it was cool. It was nice to see these new innovative things and recipes that a lot of people came up with. It was cool to see younger chefs coming up and all these food reviews telling you where to eat and where not to eat. Which again, I'm going to get into that later because I got stories for days about these horrible places and these horrible restaurants. More than likely, I'm going to save that for my personal channel, but all that to say is, unfortunately, when it comes to the dining experience at these restaurants, that has definitely plummeted, okay? And that's because, like I said, these restaurants have lost the plot. Next is the service. The service. I cannot tell you how many times I go out to eat and I'm looking for the server. I have to go hunt down a server. I have to go hunt down my server. And that should not be something where I'm playing Where's Waldo in the restaurant to find my server. It's very annoying. It's very ridiculous. And I'm a very low maintenance person. I'm not the type of person that's going to be calling you every 2 seconds. So it's like if I can't find you or if I need you and I can't find you, it's going to piss me off because it's like, I just need a straw because I'm not putting my mouth on this bottle. or I'm not putting my mouth on this glass. You know, it's the simplest shit. It's like, damn, at least be around, you know? If it's a busy restaurant, I understand that. I would never complain about that. But it's like, if I'm one of 3 diners in a spot and I can't see you, that's alarming. That's crazy. If you're the only server, I get it, right? I think I've talked about this on this channel. I've had occasions where like niggas I was ordering from was straight rude to me or rude to a friend that I was with. I've had servers like quasi me, like literally look me up and down because they think that I like their server co-working boyfriend. Why the fuck would I look at your boyfriend? Like, I'm talking about like crazy situations, like going to restaurants locally, in other states, etc. And it's like, yeah, I don't go outside and leave my house and put my anxiety in jeopardy to be treated like shit when I go outside. I just genuinely don't. So that's why I'm like, I really don't care to be going to these restaurants anymore. Yeah, I feel like a lot of servers got in the game for the tips. A lot of the servers thought, oh, well, I could make more money with tips than I can a wage. And, you know, I'd rather serve than get a standard job. And that goes into my next point. I hate tipping culture. I think it's problematic, and I think all servers should walk out of their jobs and demand that these restaurants pay them, especially these huge chains such as Applebee's, Fridays, etc. There's no reason why they cannot pay servers a living wage. Like, I genuinely don't understand it. I don't know how this started. I don't care to look into it. That's not my industry. But in a general sense, it doesn't make sense how they have to live based off tips. And a lot of times that is extremely unpredictable. Every single time that is extremely unpredictable. However, a lot of people who've been serving for years, okay, I have a lot of friends that have been serving for years, understand that you can make a pretty penny off of tips. I've had friends make 1,000 in a day. Okay, I've had friends make consistently like 500 every day, 300 every day, however much money. So a lot of times you can make more money. And this is the funny thing, right? A lot of people don't know that a lot of people who gain tips, right, who like do tip type of work, they're supposed to report it on their taxes, but they don't. Okay. And that's why a lot of people get into that industry. A lot of y'all think y'all slick. That's why I said, if y'all really about it, right? All these people be complaining, oh, niggas don't want to tip, don't go out to eat if you don't want to tip. How about don't have a job where your life relies on tips? Oh, better yet, how about we protest so that they can pay you a living wage? You're not going to do that. Why? Because you're not going to want those taxes taken out. You guys think you're slick. You're not that smart. You're not that bright, Buki. Y'all don't want to have to pay the tips on your $1,000 a day, okay? Now you guys like, who the fuck is making $1,000 off tip? Chad, you'd be surprised. First of all, especially like the S workers and stuff, like the ones that work in the club. I don't want to say the word because I ain't trying to get demonetized. Like if you work at a 5-star restaurant, I have a couple friends that work at 5-star restaurants. Like literally on a good day, it is like $1,000, and on a bad day, it's like $300 a day. So what I'm trying to understand is why is it a thing where they can literally pay y'all pennies? Okay. And why is it that y'all think that people have to substantiate your lifestyle? I hate that. Tips are for good service. If you don't get good service, you're not getting a tip from me, period. I really don't care. If I don't like your service, if I had to wait forever to see you, if I had to hunt you down, if you were rude to me, if you look like you don't want to do your job, you're not getting a tip. That's what a tip is for. I don't understand why people think tips are something that just has to be given. No, it doesn't. I don't care. If you give me shitty service, you're going to get a shitty or no tip at all. I don't care about it. I'm going to sleep great at night, and I'm very sure someone else has supplemented my tip in the first place, and you're going to get your $100 a day, your $200 a day, etc. That's an unpopular opinion. I said it. I said it before. I said it just now, and I'll say it again. The tipping situation pisses me off, especially when it's gratuity added to the bill. To the next point. A lot of these restaurants are greedy. When you add the fact that the food don't even be that great, the service don't even be that great, and then you get hit with like an $80 bill with 20% gratuity, this shit just don't add up. It don't make sense. And then they be asking you to tip at the end on top of the gratuity that was added to the bill. DK gratuity. How about robbery? Like at this point, you're doing too much. Okay. And I have no problem paying for good service. I have no problem paying for good food. I'm the type of person that, listen, I don't feel like cleaning. Let me hit up a small local company to come clean my house because I will support a small business the long way. I'm one of those people. I pay for convenience, but don't piss me off and make me pay for bullshit or you're going to hear my mouth. Okay. Also, in regards to tipping, why the fuck am I tipping somebody that's just bringing the food to my table? Like, I know a lot of y'all are sick about what I'm saying, but I want to tip the chef. I want to tip the cook. They deserve the tip, but they get the wage. I think it needs to be flipped. They need to literally probably pay the chefs and stuff less and give them tips, and then probably give the servers a living wage. Because yes, it is a lot of work. I'm not saying it's not a lot of work, but it's like compared to actually sitting there and cooking the food and sitting and slaving in the kitchen and getting orders returned to you and all that and having to make them again. It's like, yeah, I don't know. I think the plot was lost there as well. And these restaurants literally be doing too much with this damn gratuity shit, and then asking for tips at the end, and then the food not that good, and then the service is subpar. It's like, what the fuck did I actually pay for? At that point, I could have went to McDonald's. Oh, don't even get me started with McDonald's. Don't even get me started with Wendy's. Don't get me. Is it me, or does McDonald's not taste nowhere near what it did back in the day? And then they're slow as fuck. Every McDonald's I've been to in the past 2 years has been slow as shit. Like, way slower than usual. And I'm like, aren't y'all getting timed? Like, why is the time getting longer and the food not getting better? It's supposed to be fast food. It's slow food at this point. Slow food.
Even McDonald's CEO have came out and said that they are dropping their prices on their value meals to bring back their reputation of affordability because they forgot who their patrons were. Houston is having the same problem. Y'all forgot who the real people are that like spend money with you. I'm gonna just say it simple so everybody can follow. Okay?
Wendy's is set to close 200 to 300 locations across the United States that they say are consistently underperforming. According to the CEO, this will allow the company to invest more resources in their remaining locations.
Now, big restaurant companies close locations all the time for a variety of reasons. You can build a highly successful restaurant today, but in 10 or 20 years, that restaurant might be less viable. New competition might open, or a new development opens a mile away and takes some of the customers away, or the economy changes, and sometimes it makes more sense to close that location if it doesn't make much money and simply open another one nearby. Or maybe the landlord just wants to build something else on the site and kicks the restaurant out. Regardless, most major brands close some restaurants every year, but the number of closures we saw last year and really the past couple of years has been a lot more than normal, and that's because restaurant profitability has taken a big hit. According to the National Restaurant Association, pre-tax income at fast food restaurants has fallen by a third since 2019. These days, consumers are dining out at many restaurants less often, which has hurt sales. Costs for labor, food, rent, insurance, and other things have all gone up. Then there's this. The U.S. probably has too many restaurants. There was concern before the pandemic that there were too many locations, but the pandemic was supposed to change that, and for a while it did. But independent restaurants have rebounded since then, and chains have been building at a healthy clip. Even now, with so many restaurants closing, there's usually somebody waiting to take that available location.
The next one is the atmosphere and the aesthetic, right? It's no secret that there's been a lot of new restaurants popping up since the pandemic, and a lot of them are gorgeous, brand new restaurants with trending food and trending ideas, and a lot of people flock to them mainly because of the aesthetic. But that's as far as it goes. Literally everything I mentioned in this video, as well as so much more that I didn't even cover, are the reasons a lot of people don't care for these places. Honestly, it's just a place to look nice. Like even the place I had my birthday dinner last year, the food was very meh. The place was nice. The hotel was gorgeous, but the food, basura. I could have, I would have been happier with a bagel from Dunkin', to be quite honest with you. Like, the food wasn't nasty. It just really wasn't worth the price. Like, everybody at my party paid like $90-something to have that food, and it was not amazing. It was very, very basic. And it's just like, yikes. Like, I felt bad. But you know what? Everybody was happy enough to just spend the time with me and come and have the dinner. And shout out to y'all for spending that bread, because part of me wanted to be like, send all the shit back. Like, the food just was not great. Like it gets to a point where like now it's kind of hard to find a really good restaurant with a really good aesthetic. It's like a lot of the places that have the best food are the holes in the wall, like the places that have those cracks in the seams and unfortunately cannot stay afloat. And all they need is that little bit of promotion, right? All they need is that little bit of a push to get people through the door because their food is really that good. But since they don't have the money to remodel and do renovations, or that's not their focus, a lot of people don't come through the door. And then you have people that have these restaurants that are gorgeous, phenomenal, but the service is bad, the food is subpar, and it's like they're closing every single day because that's what it is. It's literally putting lipstick on a pig. It's like the food is giving cochon. It's giving trash. It's giving basura. So it's like, why would anyone walk in here? That's why the food review space has become huge.
Why do food reviewers lie? Like, as if we're not gonna find out that you're lying once we get to the fucking restaurant. Like, what the fuck? That is so fucking irritating. Like, how you gonna call yourself a food reviewer? You for the people, but you lying.
I don't know who lives in LA or Southern California or close by, but I do. And I just feel like a lot of the people who be doing like food reviews out here be lying.
New York food influencers getting paid again to lie about Spots. He claims it's the best bakery in the Bronx. Spot's called Happy Cakes. Of course, it looks TikTok trendy. I never seen a Spot get so many bad 1 stars. So let's go through some. This person ordered this cake. They were under the impression that the NCA part would be edible. It was just paper. This person here said the time they got the cake home, it already collapsed. This other person said that they put an order in and they never got it and they rushed the cake they gave her. And tons of 1 stars. So for him to say the best bakery in the Bronx, we all know Valencia is the best bakery to ever come out the Bronx. It's crazy. Tired of these food influencers.
So an influencer gave a restaurant a 2 out of 10 review, saying that it was dirty and dangerous. Well, the restaurant pulled out the security camera footage, and it doesn't look good for our influencer friend. She starts off the review by saying she was bothered non-stop while waiting for her food.
Somebody who was clearly anxious, who kept bothering me for 5 minutes straight. It was a very uncomfortable situation.
Now, we could be missing context here, but she goes on to say the restaurant is dirty and uses this clip as evidence of that.
Nothing about it. Not only that, this whole place was so dirty. There was food all over.
But she leaves out the fact that she filmed this just minutes after 12 people left.
There was food all over the dining tables.
And not only that, but the staff cleaned the mess up like 5 minutes later. But one thing that didn't add up to me about this whole situation is why would someone go out of their way to leave such a negative review about a business? Well, if you go to her comments, you will see that she wants to be invited back for a better customer experience, meaning she probably wants free food.
Now, to be honest, I can probably do a whole dedicated video on food reviewers and why the fuck I hate a lot of them, because a lot of them are lying pieces of shits. But maybe I'll add that in my video list for later down the line. Let's just keep this short. We have to talk about some of you guys. Yes, I said you guys. That be lying and trying to get free food. Okay, a lot of y'all are fucking liars. And this goes into a lot of the videos I've done about scams and stuff and how I've talked about my fellow colleagues are some of the biggest scammers on the planet. A lot of y'all will literally get on camera and rant and rave about amazing food and how you gotta try this now. And then you go there and the food tastes like rat traps, regret, and Black and Miles. I'm not fucking understanding. Like, I have been to so many birthday dinners and I'm about to pull my locks out because this shit pisses me off. Like, it really does. I've been to so many birthday dinners in the past 4 to 5 years. I'll say only one of them was good. Every other place I went to was trash. And every single time I asked my friend or whoever's dinner I went to, hey, where did you find this restaurant? They said TikTok. And then later on, I go and I look this place up on TikTok, and it's no fucking surprise that there are influencers promoting this shit. And obviously they got a check to say good things about this because the food is garbage. Either the food is just straight nasty or it's just extremely mid and niggas paying $120 for a plate. I can make tacos in my house. I don't need to go pay $50 for tacos. I can have a mimosa, well, cranberry mimosa because I'm allergic to oranges. Fun fact. I can make that shit in my house. I don't have to pay $30 for a pitcher. Okay. And then it's like the shit is warm and then there's no ice. I got to hunt down the server to bring the ice. It's just like, yo, it's a fucking circus on TikTok. This is why I don't trust TikTokers. Okay, I really don't. I really don't trust YouTubers. Okay, the YouTube food review space is even worse. Okay, that was actually the beginning. Now that I think about it, TikTokers got that shit from YouTubers. Okay, the YouTubers been lying about food for a very long time. Okay, that's why I've been stopped watching food reviews from them. Okay, now I just go on Google. Okay, I go on Google, I look at the reviews, and I go from there. I'll trust that before I trust a TikToker. All the videos look the same. They all have the same script. They all say the same shit. And it just be so obvious. It's like you can really look and tell just by how the video is filmed, the language that they're using in these videos. And I'm so happy a lot of these people are getting caught up and dragged. Because why are we lying about food reviews? You guys are playing with people's money, especially in this economy. Don't fucking lie and say something's good when it's not. Don't say you like something when you don't. This is why you don't see that many sponsorships on this channel. Like, you'll see them. Shit, I'm gonna do my sponsorships, but if I never used it, I'm not gonna tell you I like it. Okay, if I never played the game, I'm not gonna tell you to go download the game. If I don't like Dossier, that's somebody I've worked with for years. I love Dossier. Okay, they basically make replica scents or whatever. I've been using them for years. I still have Dossier shit here. Scentbird is another one I used to promote all the time. Like, I'm never gonna tell you guys to do or buy something that I personally don't fuck with. You know, same thing with Raycon. Love my Raycons. I will say lately, my Raycon's been effing up. And you know what they did? They sent me a new one. That's good customer service. Okay, a lot of these restaurants, y'all need to brush up on the customer service. That's why y'all closing. Okay, this is why nobody cares to support y'all anymore, because it's like we go there, we get bad service, we get subpar food. Y'all staff is rude as fuck. The shit is only good for pictures. It's really just genuinely not worth it. And then you guys have food reviewers that you're paying to say that your food is good and it's really trash. The truth is all going to come out eventually. You are going to take a paid type of sponsorship partnership with the restaurant. You need to make sure that you are honest and the review is 1,000% honest, which is going to be hard to do because no restaurant is going to pay you to say, yeah, these hush puppies are garbage. Now, a lot of you guys watching this might think, oh, well, that's the same with everything, right? But not necessarily. I've had sponsorships where I've literally said, like, I actually didn't really like this. Maybe you will. If you want to try it, link down below. I've done it before. If you guys been watching me for a long time, you would know I've done it before. If you want me to give an honest review, I'm gonna give you an honest review. If in that contract it says you cannot say anything negative, skip, take your money back. I don't got time for that. Because if something happened and I didn't like it, I'm going to say that shit. Okay, like you're not gonna tell me not to do nothing. You're not gonna stop this honesty. Like, I've always been honest. Any company that works with me knows I'm brutally honest. You know, so it's like when it comes to the food review thing, it's like an issue. It's a very big issue of integrity. And speaking of integrity, the dining and dashing situation. Okay, some of y'all be out here dining and dashing, and that's not okay.
What's going on? Come on in.
What's going on? So they took off without paying. Is that what happened?
$35.11. She kept telling me God's paying for my meal. And I'm like, man, I'm sorry, but God's not buying dinner today. You owe me dinner. She goes, it's been taken care of. I was like, ma'am, this is called theft of service. I will prosecute this. You will be banned from this. You can't ban me from here. I was like, well, unfortunately, I can.
She alone?
Yep, take by herself.
Okay. And then basically that conversation takes place and she just walks on out.
Yep, and I followed her out to her car, got her license plate number. She got on the frontage road, went that way.
Okay.
The frontage notes.
What do you want done with it if we do track her down?
Do you have band paperwork?
No, never. I would like to get my $35.11 and then have her banned from the establishment.
Okay.
And move on from that. I mean.
Well. Look who we have here. The Bonnet Brigade. Wait a damn minute. You can't afford Waffle House? Waffle House is like the cheapest thing you can eat on purpose. Motherfucker go to Waffle House on his last dollar. Come on, dining and dashing. This is premium ratchet behavior. I really don't know how Waffle House is still standing. Like, they're made out of vibranium or some shit. There's been brawls. There has been chairs thrown. Like, everybody in that bitch fighting. You type in Waffle House fight, everybody's touching every wall up in that bitch. There's really never a dull moment at a Waffle House. I personally don't like the food. I probably just offended somebody, but it's like some shit I would make at home. I think I've ever had anything there that was worth telling somebody about, let alone fighting. Stealing it is just pathetic at this point. Why can't y'all afford Waffle House? What's going on?
Okay, stealing money, okay, via reviews, stealing food, sitting here paying for hundreds of dollars worth of food and then running out on a bill is not okay. Like, the stories about the dining and dashing situation have been interesting, especially like the trending ones, because it's like, why are we doing that? Like, I guess this kind of goes into the whole idea of if you're too broke, don't go out to eat. But at the same time, it goes into the whole idea of, are you not embarrassed? Like, should you not be embarrassed to do things like that? Like, is this not like, I don't know, bring back shame, I guess. But it is never okay to dine and dash. And that's another reason a lot of these restaurants are starting to fail, because a lot of people are, oh, I don't like my food, send it back. But then they ate the whole plate. Okay. Like literally earlier when I saw that I did not like my food within the first bite, you know, I took like maybe 2 more bites to make sure I really didn't want it. And that was it. Like the bowl was full. Okay. Like I barely touched it. Even with my boba, I took like 3 sips before I was like, you know what? I don't like this, but you know what? I literally said like, I'll keep this. The rest of this, it gotta go. So I was only charged for the buns, and then I paid for the gyoza and the bubble tea, and that was it, right? But I've seen people order a full-blown steak with a lobster tail, with a side of mashed potatoes and asparagus. They talk about, oh, I don't like this food, and the only thing left on the plate is an asparagus. Like, we can't be doing shit like that, right? Just to get free food. You know, we can't be out here taking our whole family out to eat, and now we running out the back door because, ooh, I didn't want to pay for it. Like, no, that's absolutely disgusting. And I think that's wrong. If you've ever dined and dashed intentionally, because I don't know, maybe there's reasons to do it, which, oh my God, fun fact, another story. Back when I was like 16, my family took us out to eat at IHOP. If you guys know anything about IHOP, it's usually very packed, especially on Sundays. And we literally left that on the bill because literally no one came to us and the counter was disgustingly crowded. So like literally we walked out. That ain't got nothing to do with me. I was a kid at the time. And that was Long Island, so I can't even go back and pay my portion if I wanted to. But like, you know, shit like that is not okay to do. But at the same time, it's like, there's certain ways you should be managing your restaurant so things like that don't happen. And unfortunately, a lot of these restaurants are drowning. And I do feel bad for them to an extent. But at the same time, I'm not mad that a lot of them are closing because a lot of them just do too much. They just do too much for me. And it's like the past couple years, I have like restaurant fatigue. Like, I'm very sick of it. Like, even when I DoorDash now, it's like I'm holding my breath. I'm like, I hope it's what I ordered. I hope I like it. I hope I don't have to contact DoorDash for a refund, which I've had to do more often than I would like to admit, because it's like the food was trash. Or better yet, they fuck up my order. Like, I don't understand how you get a order written, okay, written in black and white to you and you still fuck it up. It's not like I'm ordering via drive-through or at the counter, which funny enough, I went to Popeyes recently. I ordered 3-piece chicken tender combo with mac and cheese. These niggas gave me fries instead. That shit pissed me off so bad because I do not like Popeyes fries. I love their mac and cheese, but I do not like Popeyes fries. Mind you, I went there physically. The guy repeated the order back to me and still gave me that. My fault for not checking the bag before I left, but I was really in a rush. But nonetheless, you guys understand where I'm coming from. It's like the service industry, like the food service industry has been plummeting bad. And very, very soon enough, you're going to see a lot of small places close, like more than ever. And it's going to be the chain restaurants that survive only because the chain restaurants have the money to sustain the hit. A lot of these small businesses don't. So if you know any really good restaurants in your area that you really fuck with and you really like to support, go support them, because I guarantee you they need it. Okay, there's a couple places that I love, or a couple cities that I know that always have good food. I'll probably comment, I don't know if I'm gonna leave it in the pin or the description box. I'm gonna leave some of my favorite restaurants in North New Jersey down below. Also just if you guys want to like visit different places and get good food, of course, where I'm from, Elizabeth, New Jersey has amazing food. Newark, specifically on Ferry Street, there's a lot of good restaurants there. Fishkill, New York, hands down some of the best food I've ever had. Okay, really, really good food. Miami, another good place to have food. I'll say Pennsville. So if you guys do not know, I moved to South Jersey last year, hated it, came back, but the food was good. Okay, the food was actually pretty good. So if you're in South Jersey area, head to Pennsville. They have a really good pizza spot, and then they have a really good sub spot. Like, there's a couple places, you know, like that I've been to where it's like, all right, solid. I have no problem coming back here. But like a majority, y'all never gonna see my fucking face again, and y'all lucky y'all not a goddamn video. Like, that's all I gotta say. Y'all lucky y'all not a story time yet. Because I think 2026, I'm gonna come back with a vengeance and start saying fuck it and start naming names dragging niggas because, oh my God, people have been playing in my face for too long. With that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Comment down below. Do you have restaurant fatigue? I would love to hear your stories down below. Like, I'm talking about full-blown stories of crazy experiences, because literally while doing this video, I was like, oh, it's over. My personal channel about to be with the content, because I got stories for days about like horrible experiences I've had from eating out, like literally in the past 5 years or so. So please make sure you guys comment that down below. Again, we are going to Brazil, July 2026. If this is something you are interested in, please make sure you head down to the link in the description and or the pinned comment. Also, again, thank you so much for the birthday wishes. Keep the description box for everything you guys always ask about down below. Join the free Discord, join the Patreon, join the membership. Literally, like, it helps me out. Shout out to all of you guys who have done that already. I love you guys so very much. What am I doing? With that being said, make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe. And I'm going to see y'all